Happy New Year! I'm Ryan.
And I'm Dillon.
And we're going to go through, it's that time of year, we're going to go through the top 5 movies that we watched in 2024, now that we've reached 2025. Now, this is not necessarily new movies that came out in the year. It's just the best things that we watched throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, we like to keep track of things that we watched, and we rate them throughout the year. And number 5 on my list is not a new release at all. It is from 1980, and it is Airplane.
Airplane. Classic
comedy with Leslie Nielsen. I love rewatching Airplane and quoting it a lot. It's really funny.
Good one. My number 5, I'm not going to say it every time. I don't think many of mine are new, if any of them. Is The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
And you might be saying, how is that 5 on this list?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Just
what's
get ready.
Above that? I can't wait to hear.
Watched a lot of rewatches for me this year.
Yeah, I see. Number 4 for me was also a rewatch, just like Airplane, but a newer one. It was The Equalizer from 2014. So the first one with Denzel Washington. I love those movies. The first one's my favorite of those.
My number 4 is Interstellar.
I know that's one of your favorites.
Yeah, that is one of my favorites. I really like that movie. The human part of it. The best part of that movie is when Matt Damon blows up the airlock and Matthew McConaughey has to make the quick decision to go and spin and connect to it. It's like, yeah, that's such a good part.
I remember that. I think we watched that in theaters together. And so now I'm even more surprised what you put above Interstellar on your list. What the heck? Well, my number 3, we watched together this last year, and it is Zone of Interest.
Whoa. That is, now that you say that, I'm surprised that didn't make my list. I've watched so many good movies this year, but that's very good.
From Jonathan Glazer, who did another one of your favorite movies, Under the Skin. It's about the Holocaust, and that's one that's like, it was amazing, but I don't know if I'd ever want to watch it again. You know what I mean? It's
I agree.
Hard to watch.
Yes. So my number 3 is Hereditary. It's a A24 horror movie in that realm of a few of the good ones. The Witch, Hereditary, Midsummer, all came out like within a few years of each other. And it is one that, as just its own horror movie, I would say it's basically perfect in my opinion, and it's more of a traditional horror movie, whereas me liking something like Under the Skin is a little less of a traditional way in which it's made, presented. But this one is more traditional, and it hits everything perfect. It's disturbing and it's scary and everything.
Great. Number 2 on my list is actually a new release from 2024, a new favorite of mine. It's called Rebel Ridge. It was put out on Netflix.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? I checked it out because it was directed by Jeremy Saulnier, who did Green Room, my favorite A24 movie. So I went in checking it out, not expecting to like it as much as Green Room, one of my favorites, but I liked it pretty much just as much. It's another new favorite of mine. It's about kind of police corruption, and they mess with the wrong guy, and he kind of takes on the corruption in the small town. I loved it. Check out Rebel Ridge.
Now I remember you talking about this one. You telling me about this one.
Did I tell you about it?
The Green Room part jogged my memory of you saying, that same thing. Okay, my number 2 is a newer one, not from 2024, but Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, yeah.
The story that it weaves throughout, it's just that's a very, I don't know that I need to say anything about it.
Hard to explain that movie.
It's hard to explain that movie, so that's a really good one.
Check that one out for sure. Okay, so I said Rebel Ridge is a new favorite of mine, but my number 1 is an old favorite of mine that I rewatched, and that is Little Miss Sunshine. Absolutely love this movie. I have a lot of favorite movies, but this is near the top of my list of favorite movies.
Yeah.
Love that one.
Yeah, I might have to watch that one again, because...
Oh, you did watch it?
I watched it way back when, But
with Toni Collette from Hereditary.
yeah,
by the way.
Yeah, that's
Very
true.
different movie, but she's great in it.
My number one is also an old school number one for me, and that is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Fantastic.
But now you see how many things could be above Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, I
and
get
above
it.
Interstellar. I rewatched a lot of great all-time favorite movies this year. The new one was Everything Everywhere All at Once, but Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is so good.
Your list is great, and of course, I think my list is great. So,
Yeah.
I mean, check out all these movies we mentioned. This was a great top 5. Obviously, we watched so many great movies this year.
Yeah.
We also want to include some honorable mentions before we go. My honorable mention was a surprising one for me. It's called Derailed from 2005, starring Clive Owen and Jennifer Aniston. It's this thriller that was very unpredictable for me. I didn't expect all the stuff that was going on with it. So it's just very underrated. I don't want to tell you more about what happens in it. Just check it out.
My honorable mention will be another horror movie, Talk to Me. That is a new one that came out, and that's this group of teenagers has this it's like a plaster hand, and you grab it and you get possessed.
Interesting.
By a dead person in some way. Very scary. It's almost a pity, because I watched so many good things this year, that this is only the honorable mention. It deserves to potentially be, in other years, it's definitely top 5,
I haven't even heard of that one. Sounds interesting. And your top 5 to me sounded like all 10 out of 10s, basically.
Essentially it was, yeah.
So that's a high recommendation for that. Okay, so those are our lists, some of the favorite movies we watched in 2024. Comment down below, what was the best movie you watched this year?
And make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. Tell all your friends. We got a bunch of stuff going on here. Stay tuned for Adaptation Station.
More book and movie discussion coming soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.